since I was a little child, I was very, there was something different about me. I was always the different one. I always gravitated towards people and helping people. But really, my evolution started back in before COVID, actually. I do believe the World War III is definitely spiritual more than physical. And a lot of people are definitely going to be awakening more. And I do believe God is opening up more gates in order for us to access and having really more of the power that we do have behind us to help the people, help humanity. That's what's more important, because a lot of people are waking up and the dark can feel that. Fear really hit me when COVID happened, and everyone in my family, all my friends, they had somebody in their house. I was by myself and I had no choice. Energy work that they're needing to focus on in regards to their chakras. And we have more than just 7 chakras. We have a lot more chakras than just 7.
Hello, beautiful soul. So here I am, Yulia, your host today, and I am so happy to welcome here our special guest. Her name is Whitney. She is the cosmic empress. Can you imagine? And a spiritual warrior. Whitney,
Yes.
welcome to
Hi.
the show.
Hello, Yulia. How are you? Thank you so much for inviting me today. I am truly grateful to just be another celestial being here with you to talk about everything that comes to mind and what spirit is using through us to speak about, for sure.
All righty,
Love
let's get
it.
started. Ready to rumble?
Yes. Love
Okay.
it.
So, Whitney, I am really interested in how you actually started your spiritual evolution. If you could just open a bit of a veil of it, because everyone has their individualized pathway to it. And for me, what was really intriguing when I found you is that kind of like description of cosmic empress, which really
Yeah.
speaks to me. It has
Yeah.
such interesting frequency in it, and the spiritual warrior at the same time. You're really Wonder Woman representation on something.
Thank you. And it's funny that you said that, because I usually do see the symbolic, the Wonder Woman. So that's like right on the money. That's crazy. I love that. Yeah, so basically, I knew since I was a little child, I was very, there was something different about me. I was always the different one. I always gravitated towards people and helping people. But really, my evolution started back in before COVID, actually, when all that fiasco went down, when everyone really was stationed to stay home. I was by myself. And I remember I didn't have any cable. I was in the house by myself. And the only thing I had was books and an oracle card deck. And that is when I had my mass awakening during that time, where God and my spirit teams definitely came to me and really allowed me to see really what life was all about during those stages of havoc on what society was putting into people. But I truly looked at it as like wow, the world is definitely different when when that whole fiasco happened. That is when,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
It feels like we are going through some kind of a war here. It's just like it's a real thing.
Yes. No, yes, I definitely feel the grand awakening is happening. I know was it the solar eclipse, I believe? Yeah, I remember in deep meditation, and I was advised to stay inside, not to look. And I remember in my meditation, I saw God wins. And I knew then and there that before this great awakening, of course, there will always be more trial and tribulation to get people to feel, confined and fear. But I knew since then, when I saw that more people were waking up to bring love into the situation and really to be able to be in their truth. So definitely we are in a war, for sure. of course, our light workers, our healers, our, you know, authoritative guides who are here, our earth grid workers. What we're doing here is definitely in battle with the other side. But of course, what we're doing, we are still winning because of the power of love. I do believe that. Yes, yes,
Yes, yes, that's
yes.
how it is. Because in the end of everything, it's love. Even in
It's
the
love.
evil face, there is love. It's just like
Correct.
kind of like lost. What I see whenever we face some kind of evil here, it's some kind of a lost being, just
Right,
lost at this particular situation. So we need to develop that type of compassion, which
right.
dissolves all these evil here, in fact.
Correct. There is a lot of evil around. I do believe that. And I feel a lot of people are so used to being okay of how society looks at us instead of looking at us like how we look at society. That is why I feel, especially the Divine Feminine Collective, we are really honoring what we came here to do. We are really honoring and remembering our oath and basically taking back
Mm.
the leadership that what we hold as
Oh, I love
the
it.
spiritual
Leadership.
leaders.
Yes.
Yes. And that's what this is all about. I do believe the World War III is definitely spiritual more than physical. And a lot of people are definitely going to be awakening more, which they will be guided to looking for help. But the divine feminines who have been really honoring our relationship with ourself, but most importantly with source and with our spiritual team, we are ready to help all the people who come to us so that because at the end we are the true spiritual leaders that is going to fight, especially with our divine masculines. We can't leave them out either, but we are definitely making a difference here, and Mama
Yes,
Gaia
yes. I
is
actually
showing that.
think that it's not even fighting with divine masculine or something. We
Hmm.
need really so much to support them because they are
Yeah.
much more dense than we are. And so they may be
Yes.
so much more lost here in this life. They cannot see truly many
Correct.
times. So we need really to be like, as you righteously said, leaders in this
Hmm.
direction. And even if they get lost and somehow act not righteously, in this case, we
Yes.
really need to step in and guide them lovingly still.
And I completely agree with you. I feel there is a part of people who are trying to figure out really which they embody the most. Am I more masculine or am I more feminine? And I feel like that is where a new wave of people are trying to figure out which one do they embody more. But I do believe the Divine Masculine Collective is now operating more from the heart space than the mind space because of the shifts we've been doing as a divine feminine collective.
Yes.
We've been holding it down, anchoring down, to even help them come back up, to breathe with air. Some have been drowning for years, especially with society, patriarchy. That's a whole different, subject. But I do believe that the true divine masculines are making a difference right now. They are just going through that dark night of the soul. And one thing I do love how I look at the dark night of the soul is a lot of people would think, oh, it's very dark and you can't see anything. But I say dark night of the soul, like being a night, like right
Oh,
now, even though
yes.
you
And by the
are
way, the
there in.
darkest hour is before the dawn.
Exactly. But that's the reason why I love being a divine feminine, and holding true value to who I am, because we are the darkness and they will always be, they know we will always be there for them to help push them into the light where they're needing to be, because that's what they hold.
Yes, to
Yeah,
nourish and nurture, in fact.
correct.
Whereas
Correct.
we cannot already get against that fact that they are still created by this universe much stronger physically than we are.
Yes.
And in this
Yes.
case, we only can support them to do that thing with the hands here, which
Right.
we cannot do. For
Right.
example, when I was working in the corporate world for a while, I remember how I was always on this go, 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 method.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Yeah.
literally crushed myself from all these overwhelm, from all this burnout, from everything, until I finally relaxed in my divine femininity, in fact.
Right.
And this is so powerful. You can really crush the mountains if you start doing things correctly with your avatar here.
Correct. I completely agree with you. Um, it's just so mind-boggling how when we really remember, divine feminists remember who we are, the oaths that we have agreed before coming here, and we have that aha moment, we truly can move mountains. It's like my favorite other story is David and Goliath. I do believe in the Bible when it comes to the power of the word. And David, basically, long story short, is a regular person who went up against a giant, and he didn't have anything other than a rock, a pebble, and a slingshot. So, and he beat the
Mm.
giant by because
You just
of the
need to be
courage.
specific.
Right, right. But what I love is he hit him right on the third eye, right? And so that's what it's like, how it is with the darkness, with evil. They already know exactly what the light is, what we are, what God is, what the cosmic realm is. And they want
Mm.
to distort the collective and not seeing the truth of really what unconditional love is, which is God, the source, our celestial galactic family. And so that's really what's going on now is,
Yes. By the way, just
yes.
sorry for interrupting you in
No,
that
you're fine.
story, but it's just so related to what you say. I not so long ago I was also meditating, and it came to me the name Leviathan, and Leviathan is actually
Mm,
representing that snake around the earth. It's like
yes.
that demon, you know. And I was just like,
Yes.
and it came to me also Killbit, and it's true story. When you go to internet, actually Leviathan by itself, he's afraid of Killbit. And Killbit is a
Mm,
small worm which penetrates the big fish, and it
right.
creates inflammation. And the more small worms like this create inflammation in that Leviathan,
Right.
the worse it is this existence here for him. So it's hard for him
Right.
to exist. It means like
Yeah.
the more of ours will start
Yes.
rising in our leadership, as you said, the
Right.
more we are much more powerful here.
Well, I do believe what's happening, for the Divine Feminine Collective, we are connecting more with our sacred rage. We
Mm.
are really taking a stand and connecting more with our womb as well. Our womb is another world. We hold two worlds, the world that we embody in our physical vessel, but also to the world within our womb, in our sacral chakra. And I do believe our rage is shaking Mama Gaia, and she's hearing us in order for more of her crystalline, beautiful energies to assist us to speak the truth. I keep hearing floodgates. That has been following me for a while. And I do believe God is opening up more gates in order for us to access and having really more of the power that we do have behind us to help the people, help humanity. That's what's more important, because a lot of people are waking up,
Yes.
and the dark can feel that. So I
Mhm.
always say, as a devotee to Saint Michael, I'm ready. I get excited for it just because that's my purpose, is to always let them know that God will always win.
Well,
So,
yeah, it's the Michael's age actually is coming. We went through these Gabrielle's times where everything was in secrecy, but
mm,
today everything is opening up, and we
yes,
really need to stand up, as you said, collectively and speak up our truth and
right.
light everywhere. Mhm.
Yes, and that's what I do feel that is coming, a lot more people. The more we do our part as messengers, as healers, as priestesses or priests, whatever, how you want to embody who you are, we are going to be speaking more truth. But I do know it's going to be a battle because, ooh, that's beautiful. Is that your deck?
Yes, we
Yes, the
need to
Queen
be
of
like queens of
Swords.
swords here, queens of
Yes.
swords.
The Queen of Swords. I love her. Me being a sun air sign, that is something I truly embody because she's a warrior. She went through a lot. And because of that
Steady.
sword that she carries, she holds a lot of wisdom, knowing what to do, that authority.
Yes, I actually keep talking to many healers today and to many high priestesses, how they call
Mhm.
themselves, to
Yeah.
whatever you call yourself, it's speaking to your frequency. But the interesting thing is we all unite in the frequency of this card, and it's so amazing. It's so
Yeah.
just look
I
at
think your
her.
deck is beautiful. As me as a reader, I love the deck. It's very beautiful. It definitely
Oh, thank you.
embodies a lot of divine feminine energy for sure. But yes, the Queen of Swords is not to play with. She does not play. You know, she's very smart too. She'll allow you to speak, but if you're stepping on her toes, she'll definitely put you back in your
Yeah, look
place.
at her, how she's holding her sword, actually. Look at her. Just
Yeah,
how she's holding it. It's just like crazy, the energy of the frequency. I don't know if you can
correct.
see it,
But what
but
I do love about how she has her sword coming from the top is that
yes,
enlightenment. It's the
yes,
enlightenment to it, the truth to it.
yes. Standing still in that resolution. That's
Correct.
so nice. It's just like
Yes.
she's standing still because when we go to that energy of resolution within us, we go back to center and we stop. Can I show something?
Of
Like, I
course.
love this. When we go to that energy of resolution, we go from swirling. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
just from swirling on the periphery to
Right.
the center. That's what allows us to stand there.
Correct.
That's so
Correct.
amazing. You actually start standing still. You don't need like all these teachings and learnings. You somehow find your individual pathway.
Correct. And that's where I definitely did a collective reading recently, and even just in general for everyone. And then I did one for divine feminine and divine masculine, and the whole subject was being still.
Mm.
You know, right now is the time to be still. A lot of people think we're needing to move, but that's what society wants you to do because that's going
Oh,
off of
yes.
fear. When really, how are we going to be able to really listen to what our next move is as a collective? And most importantly,
Correct.
for yourself, if you're moving, your
But
answers
look at
are,
this, Whitney.
yeah.
How can we win if we are living in chaotic times? And
Mhm.
here's you on the periphery, you will only suffer. But if you stand still in the eye of the tornado,
Out of the storm, right?
yes, that's where actually all the goodies are. We want to go there.
Of course. But in order for us to get there, we have to go through the storm. That's just like in order for you to have spiritual enlightenment, correct. You have to go and be the warrior that you are. Everyone has, there is a wounded warrior. Everyone has the wounded warrior, but how are we going to catalyze our pain into power to get to the eye of the storm? And that's where really
Yes.
the mission starts, is through the darkest valley.
I love
And
actually this. I love
is
this
that
one.
is that the tower? Yeah, that's
Power, yeah.
beautiful.
Because can you imagine if you combine these both? Many are fearful about this, but this is so powerful, especially today. You break down all the mental constructs which are not
Yes,
serving you. You just bash them. You just
correct.
literally bash them.
Correct. You're breaking down the programming of what has been built upon
Repeating
you for
cycles,
years.
right?
Correct. And a lot of people are many people, I won't say a lot of people, but many people are afraid of those tower moments because they're so used to what they're being in their comfort. But really the
Mm,
tower, I embrace the tower moment because that means the divine is saying, "Oh, it's time to wash this away because you have something new being rebuilt." But a lot of
yes,
a lot of
yes.
people have a hard time wanting to really process what they have to feel during those tower moments, for sure.
But guess what? After tower, what follows? The star.
The star,
Yes.
the star.
Yeah, we need to actually
And
go through that tower.
right, but that's where a lot of people stop once they get to that tower because they know when they have to climb up the tower, they're going to have to fall, not knowing what's right after that. And that's where I feel
Yeah.
a lot of people are going in circles here, for sure. What's
Yeah,
that? The
here
star.
she,
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I love the energy. I love the energy.
yes. But you
It's
see, she's trying
beautiful.
still to figure out. She's trying still to figure out her way. She still is
And
not
the
there.
reflection of her. She's looking at the reflection of her, I feel like.
Yes. She's
Yeah,
trying to
the
still see who she is. She cannot understand on some level, but in fact, that's the real revelation. You broke down all the towers.
correct.
You don't freaking care already who you are. You're serving. You're serving
Yeah.
magically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's 100% true. And also, too, it looks like the water is moving. So that's just the representation of our emotions and how many different multidimensional layers we are. You don't know how, when the water is moving and you're playing with it, you're going to see different versions of yourself until you're back into that calmness. But you are still going to be the star that you are because of the fact you
Yes.
are following your true north. Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
follows the moon. Look at
Ooh,
this.
the moon. I love your cards. It's like my heart chakra is like boom, boom, boom. I love it. That's
You get
beautiful.
my
Yeah.
deck, by the way.
The
Did you
oh
get,
yeah, I love that. It's so beautiful.
Whitney, did you get the deck? Did it,
I need to look. I'm pretty sure I need to look. I haven't looked in my mailbox today. I'm sorry.
okay. Yeah, because I'm pretty
I've
sure I
been
shipped
working
it to
all
you.
day today. But I'm excited to use your cards for I am. Like those are I love the moon card. Wow,
But
yeah,
what's
it's very
following
powerful.
next? The sun.
Oh wow. Is that a unicorn?
Yeah, it's actually when I was designing it, I just wanted to do it like a unicorn, but in fact, it's the star in her. So it's some
Oh,
kind.
wow. Yeah. That
Yes.
is amazing. I love how you designed your cards. What made you want to use the black as like the main focus of like
Yes, so it's actually that thing, that inner depths, to which when I was
mm,
doing it, I wanted to investigate that inner depths within me. So with
right.
black, it's that courage, in fact.
Mm,
You want to go into black. You want
yeah.
to actually understand that subconscious wiring, because
Yep.
if you don't really get it, it starts ruling you. I want to
Right.
own, I want to be so strong that
Yeah.
these thing which is inside me, which is unconscious and somehow makes me walk when I don't want to walk here, I
Right.
want to deal with it. I want to look into its face and deal with this. And especially I
Correct.
love reversed cards because of that, because they open up that second bottom, that second mountain all the time.
Yes, I completely agree with you. That's one thing I have always been was a daredevil, not being afraid of the dark. You know why? And that's a programming, right? They made children afraid of the dark, right? Why? Because they
Yes.
knew if we face the dark, we will find evolution, we will find truth, right? And so that's one thing I will always embody. Plus, also too, I am Pluto dominant, so it kind of makes sense as to why I'm okay with the underworld a little bit. But I do love being able to help people and fight with them, not because a lot of people feel like they're alone through this battle, and I feel us as spiritual leaders of who we are, we're not meant to hold hands, but it's okay for us to all walk in our own lane while we're looking at them, giving them the reassurance, saying that you're not alone. And that's what I
Yes.
do embody as who I am as Cosmic Empress for sure. But the Empress, she's open to everyone, right? She's open to all the partnerships and relationships that come
She's
to her.
receiving, she's accepting,
Right.
she's cosmic. She's
She's
cosmic.
cosmic. She's mother to me. So yeah, with Venus, she's love. You get, and birthing, everything. So it's just, being able to receive my name. And it's funny because before I was candle empress, because I do also do a lot of candle work. But but that's like a past life thing that I figure out, oh, what? That's probably the reason why I made that, until I was told, no, you're cosmic empress, because at the end, I am a cosmic child, but I developed my
I love it.
spirit to embody myself, knowing that I am an empress. Yeah,
Yeah, this is a really powerful thing because Empress, it's all the energy of abundance also in the,
correct.
if we look at it, and it's so embracing, it's so
Yes,
receptive, it's so relaxing.
yes. It's so It is so relaxing. I haven't been relaxed in a very long time. And now I'm like, this is what this feels like. This is amazing.
Yes, because
Yes.
actually what we really crave for here, when we are running again on the periphery, right?
Right.
It's this hamster cycle. So it's
Correct.
such, it's that anxiety, mental crisis. There is a
Correct.
reason for all this madness. We're like in the desert of materialism here today. There needs
Oh,
to be done something about it.
yes. But that's where a lot of people, the materialism is where it's I feel like it is trapping a lot of people. I understand. We are, ooh, is that her? Oh, she's beautiful. And I love her hair.
It's you, Cosmic Empress.
I love it. She's just in her environment and just so open. And I love how the sun is just shining on her. Yeah, she's like,
Yes.
I'm ready for anybody. Come on, come on. You know, but she is a force as well. Her unconditional love is so powerful that it does have it scatters a lot of things that are not vibrationally on her level. You get what I'm saying? You know, you can't fool the Empress. She can be very
Yes, she
loving, but
owns
she
this
knows.
reality. Look how she's sitting. She owns this reality. She,
Correct.
yes.
Yes, she
Look at her.
does. Yes, she
Everything is
does.
harmonious for her.
I think it's beautiful. Yes. Very
Yeah.
harmonious. Very harmonious.
She
Correct.
actually owns this reality in a very powerful way. She's sitting relaxingly. So
Yes.
many times we actually, what I feel about this realm today, correct me if I'm wrong, I would love to hear your opinion actually, Whitney.
Yeah.
We as women collectively here, we are responsible, in fact, for evolution of this planet. If we
Oh,
really think about this, because yeah, it's just
we are, I could talk about this for hours. But yes, okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you if you weren't done. Go ahead if you're not done. I'm
yeah, you
sorry.
speak. I will
Okay,
just
I'm like,
add maybe
yeah,
something.
like I said, we are meant to be the leaders of this planet because we are also too leaders of many others. And it's because of the powerful force that we have, because we have two worlds. As women, we have two worlds. We have the world where we come here in our earth home, but we also have worlds where we have access to because of our spirit, because of our soul.
Yes, and that is so true about access to those worlds because believe it or not, like my husband, for example, I'm married for 10 years. He's a powerful
I
student,
love that.
beautiful, beautiful soul, like really
Right.
nice. At the same time, no matter how powerful student he is still a man. So
Yep.
the interesting thing for me, I study through him, the humanity from masculine perspective. He has a lot
Right.
of great friends who are
Right.
beautiful, actually divine masculinity representation. And
I love that.
honestly, I've never seen so far yet really powerful, didn't touch. I know they exist, but not
Right.
my realm where I can touch them. So,
Yeah.
when they really can experience what I experience, and when I talk to them, they just look at me, huh?
Right.
And
Let
okay,
me
I shut down. I shut down.
Well, that's why I do believe that, why we are called the spiritual leaders and they're called the physical,
Yes.
because
Earthly leaders.
earthly,
Earthly
the
leaders.
earthly, the physical, the 3D as the earth, right? Um, I do feel a part of them will always understand. A part of them will always understand in the higher realms with their higher self, with our higher self. But here in the physical earthly, they're not really going to be able to pick up more of what we do
Yes.
receive
I
because
can
of the
see
fact.
that. It's just like he really wants. And we've done
Yeah,
so many practices together, everything. And
right.
I've done it with his friends. It's just like, many times I feel like I'm alone because they just don't get it. And
Have you
you, for
asked them
example, you get it immediately.
how do they view their spiritual, how do they see their spiritual world in front of them? That's the first question I always ask
Mm,
because as divine feminines, we receive before
mm,
we take action into our own hands. So I feel in order, the power that we have as divine feminines to just to be able to open them up to express what they
Correct. Nurture them.
yes, I feel we never have to lower ourselves to meet them, to understand what they are trying to say. I feel it's more of when we open up ourselves and nurture what they are wanting to articulate about their own spiritual journey, what they tell us, we are able to teach them from the foundation of what we can already receive from spirit to be that messenger to deliver what they're
Correct.
needing to know.
Correct.
And
It's
I
almost
feel
like it's very interesting because what we receive, it's actually the experiential thing, and it
correct.
cannot be proved logically and densely here, while they need that logical proof because they cannot
Yes.
experience
But
that.
they're visual, they're men, they're visual, right? So
Yes.
it's like they have to see it, but the power of who we are,
It's
if
the
we
unseen.
have to, it's the unseen, but because of how much work you can put inside of yourself, the unseen can come into the physical for them to see it. But it's all about how much power we actually want to receive within ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
Because we
No,
have that
very
authority to
interesting.
do that. We have
Very
that authority
interesting,
to do
Whitney,
that.
because I'm talking to you just less than an hour, and I'm already so much more in coherence with you, and you understand me so much more than my husband, with whom I've been living for 10 years, where I try to explain it, but I cannot.
Well, if you think about it, we've already had this conversation probably many of times. So, we just finally were able to meet in the physical, but we've already had this conversation. We already have this agreement to meet so that we are able to give each other insight, advice, guidance, or also too where what we're doing on your mission work, what I'm doing, and coming back with, okay, this is what's going on and how can we make it better, right? So I
Yes.
feel with him being your counterpart, especially, I don't know how you articulate your connection with him, right? But I do feel that you are definitely also his teacher to, help him become more comfortable within his own spiritual journey. And he does, I do feel he meets you definitely in the higher realms, and that's why you guys are married,
We have even the same name.
oh, wow, I've never heard of that before.
My
That's
first question
amazing.
was, are you kidding me? When they met me.
Wow, so you guys definitely have a contract here, but I do feel you do have patience with him, and the patience, but your patience is so powerful that you're able to really speak life into him where he's going to start seeing that life in his physical world when he's not with you. You can receive
Yes.
things for him and he could be like, oh, okay, but he's hearing you, and then that visual will come and he'll be like, oh, wow.
Yes.
You get what I'm
It's actually
saying?
quite interesting because what you say, patience, it's every time what we are talking about. And you say, honey, no hurry, no hurry, no hurry.
Right. Yeah. Patience. No hurry. There's a lot of people expect that we have to run during this journey. And really, the key about it is we just have to walk. Look at the fool. Right. But us being in the middle, it's like, how can we break that circle in order for the storm to break?
Yes, that's where actually the true emperor is born.
Wow. Oh, yeah. He's strong in that card. He's
Yes.
like, I know what I'm going to have and I want it. And this is what's going to go
Yes.
happen. Yeah, it's amazing. I love
The
their cards. I
earthly
can't wait.
leader.
Yeah, he's definitely in control here, but he's very protective over his divine feminine.
Only by uniting, by the way, their divine masculinity and divine femininity, we gain access to Hierophant.
Correct.
Otherwise, we cannot. We are kind of like handicapped here.
Yeah, we would. Yes, that is so true. But that's where a lot of things I feel a lot of divine feminines need to understand if in regards to the divine masculine collective is that when we found our power, we were in our high priestess energy, right? We started off as queens until we reached our high priestess to get to our empress. And that's the same thing that I feel a lot of divine feminines who are coming into their truth, knowing what they are, they're needing to have that same amount of patience and grace with the divine masculine collective.
Correct, correct. Because patience actually is exactly that thing. I figured out
Yes.
for me, it was the antidote for anger within heart.
Mm.
So once you
Yes.
actually start really being patient with this life, you
Yes.
use that antidote of that snake, which is always biting you there.
Correct. Correct. It is. And that's the reason why, it's just so important to, when you are in your journey, it's so important to really ask yourself, okay, if you see the snake biting you, when are you going to stop, look at it, and really challenge it and saying, I see you're biting me, but it's no longer working. And that's where the snake will no longer
Yes.
bite, but instead
Oh,
be with
yes,
you,
that's
instead
exactly
give you the
it.
kundalini, what you need to receive that enlightenment.
Oh my God, Whitney, I don't know how, but it just came to me. Are you into astrology?
I didn't hear you. Sorry,
Are
my phone
you
broke
into
up.
astrology as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so look, I don't know how, but it just came to me like we actually have to meet that snake so that that snake is like that sting of a Scorpio, which we all face here, and then we
Correct.
face that medicine out of it.
Correct. And that's where, and it's funny because I had a meditation when I took a bath, I saw the cobra. And
Oh,
immediately when I saw it, I put in my warrior stance, and St. Michael was like, wait, hold on. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Cause I'm immediately like, what are you doing here? But no, it's all about the divine awakening.
mm,
It's all about the divine awakening. And I truly believe when you think about cobras and how, they're really into their own energy and essence of how they're wanting to come and rise. It's the same thing with us as divine feminines, but also the divine masculine collective. I feel like the snake is moving through each
mm.
collective in order to get to that level of ascension. And the
Oh,
venom, if you want to say, is the oil, right? You think about the oil when we have the awakening, in order for us to really process and go into that another layer of our frequency of
I love
unconditional
it.
love.
I absolutely love it. I remember how I went to some ashram center, like in
Mm,
India. And
mm,
there actually there were lots of in the temple snakes, and I just couldn't
wow.
understand it, but they were all around, not real ones. In India, there are many snakes,
Right. You're like, oh my
but they
God.
were all around looking at me like, just gosh, what is this?
Yeah.
Now I get it. Talk
Yes.
to you.
Yes, the divine cobra, the divine awakening. When you start, I truly believe, when you start seeing the cobra coming, it's because you are about to experience another level of a higher force of the cosmic realms.
Yes.
You are really remembering who you are. That just, that's been following me for about 4 to 5 months. Remember who you are. Remember your
Oh
oath. And
gosh, this is so powerful. When I tried to remember in the beginning who I am, and we all know already, because once we inquire, you shall receive. It was written in the
yes.
Bible, so you know your story. It's your very personalized story. But the interesting thing is, like, I wanted to share it with you and with everyone here, and then to
Right.
hear your story about it. Because what happened to me once I started digging deep, there is that bridge which you need to overcome. And
Yeah.
before overcoming that bridge, what happens to me, there is fear. Because you
Yes.
kind of like, you need that push inside to overcome it.
Yes.
And that fear is what's holding you here. And
Correct.
what my fear was, let me share with you. My fear was that I will go mad, that I will go nuts.
Mm.
So what helped me is like people who were surrounding me at that moment who helped me, because I had real fears that I will just completely lose sense of this reality. But the
Right.
interesting thing is, once you lose yourself, you don't lose it. You
Yeah,
actually become extremely active here.
Yes.
Tell
Yes.
me your story about that.
Woo, man, my fear was truly actually being alone. Really, I was always a person, being around people, and that fear really hit me when COVID happened, and everyone in my family, all my friends, they had somebody in their house. I was by myself and I had no choice. So that was a very fearful thing for me. And bless his soul, but I do believe my dog at that moment came to me when I needed him the most, but he passed away, and then boom, COVID happened. So it was like it was to prepare me for what I'm doing now, but it was definitely to be alone because of the unknown, because of all of the fear that was already being pushed onto society when all of that happened. But
Mm.
it made sense as to why I needed to go into the dark and be by myself, because I realized that, it is okay if I am alone in this lifetime, knowing that I'm not, but it's okay if I am, because I actually have an army in the unknown. And that's what allowed me to discover more deeply in the realms on what I am now able to face. And yes, I do see things. Yes, I'm like, ooh, that's some heavy energy, but by the power of God and God's protection, nothing can overcome you when you believe in
Oh,
love.
yes. This is a
Yeah.
powerful thing, what you mentioned here, because many actually start being afraid. And I actually recorded the whole course around it, how to stop that fear to be seen. Because
Yes.
once we start shining bright, we have that fear. It's inevitable for everyone.
Yes.
What if they will see me?
Yeah, yeah, and I totally agree with you. It's, a lot of people, the first thing is, it's the energy work. A lot of people have a lot of energy work that they're needing to focus on in regards to their chakras. And we
Yeah.
have more than just seven chakras. We have a lot more chakras than just seven, but but also a lot of things is the ancestral as well. A lot of people with also past life. A lot of people are like, why do I don't, I'm healing, I'm not having a hard time in this lifetime. I beat all the chains that were, keeping me restricted, but why am I still feeling like this? And it's like, because it's your past life now that you're having to receive. It's your past life that you're needing to dig into to reclaim your soul fragments that was taken from you. And and I channeled that what's going on to in a new level for divine feminines. We are actually going into a very deeper chamber
Mm.
of shadow work, because this shadow work that is coming, I call it shadows 2.5, because we're already in the 2.0. But this shadow work is from the restrictions about the divine masculines now being set free from this layer that they were trapped in. So when they
Mm.
rose, it unleashed things which we're going to be seeing, because we are the divine feminines, and a lot of things what's happening is projections. And that's where for us we have to really understand is, okay, before we react, is this actually an image of who I am, knowing what I am, or is this a projection to what the darkness or the enemy, I would say, is trying to keep me from ascending to finding out the secrets of really what I have access
To
to?
find that philosophical stone.
Exactly. That is so true. And that's funny how you mentioned the stones, because I wrote in my journal like 6 months ago, I received from my guides, open the stones. And so I'm over here like, okay, do I collect the stones first? Then I open them together. But it's definitely about the chamber of secrets. But a lot of people don't seem to realize, which I'm a really big believer about, is that they have to tell us the truth
Look at this.
here.
This card is
Oh,
the
that's
mastery of that
Michael.
philosopher's stone, actually. The card of temperance.
Wow. I can't wait to see them. I'm
Uh,
excited. I
do you
got
know why?
chills. Well, I didn't hear you. What you say?
Do you know why it's representing the mastery of the philosopher's stone?
No, I don't actually. Tell me.
Look at him, how he's standing. He's pouring the water from one chalice to another. How he's
Yeah.
standing only on one foot. I don't know if you can see it with my cam, but basically he's standing on one foot. Once you receive the
Right.
cards, you will explore it a bit more. And I designed it specifically that way to show how scientific he is. That's the
Mm,
descended angel. So he's standing, he knows how to deal with his reality scientifically. So
right.
it's kind of like art, but at the same time, science. And look how that
Yeah.
is the right thing at the right time, so that not even one single drop will
Drop
pour.
misses,
It's
correct.
just wow.
Yeah, that's beautiful. But I
Yeah,
believe
in
in,
this
I'm a
law,
huge, I'm a huge science believer too. Like spiritual and science has to be both.
spiritual science.
Yeah, literally, like, what is your belief? Spiritual science. Like, because it's because at the end, there I feel like without science, there's no spirituality, and without
Yeah. I actually
spirituality, there's no
heard
science.
already many are jumping on that theme. Even guys like Deepak Chopra, I really respect him, what he's doing.
Mm,
So he's even having some kind of a channel like spiritual science or something. So
mm,
he's doing it in his way.
right,
Lots of wisdom, of course, is there. But you see, it's not even we. Guys are also doing that work. They also
right.
kind of like get open to that.
Right. No, and I do love that. I do love that. But the question is it coming from, you know, is it are they going into that direction because they're seeing other, powerful men doing it and they're wanting to feel powerful with it? Or is it really because it's being led by their heart to really open
You
to
can always
understand it?
investigate it. You can always investigate it by looking into their eyes.
Oh,
You
for
can
sure.
see. You can see it.
Oh yeah, you can see it clear as day, and it's like, and that's when I'm just like, okay, like you can't fool me. Like maybe 7 years ago when I was, still trying to figure myself out, 10 years ago, but now I'm like, no, like, but that's what's
Oh
so
yeah.
hard now. I feel like as divine feminines, we know when we are in our power, it's like what is real, right? It's like, because
Yes.
you immediately see it and you're like, oh my gosh, I knew this was going to happen, or, and it's like, it's okay. I'm just going to continue to allow the divine to bring those that have to meet me, who I'm divinely meant to meet. I'm just going to allow the divine to do that.
Let me tell you a story. It's so fun. I guess everyone can connect to this. Every woman hearing us here.
Oh
So I
man.
remember how my husband showed me the photo of him and his guys, and she's like, honey, I don't like him. I don't know why
Yeah.
I don't like this guy. And he says,
Yeah.
he's a cool guy. Just what you do want from him? She said, I don't know. I just don't like him. He said,
Right.
it's weird. You're just weird being. And then we meet on some event together. He brings me on all his business events, all this stuff.
Right.
So I am following him all around. And what's happening is I meet that guy and he treats us not nicely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, honey, do you remember what I told you?
Mm-hmm. And he's probably like, oh man,
And he
like
said, you created it, witch.
no, it's just you can definitely pick up on energy. A lot of people would think, well, you manifested that. And it's like, no, I didn't. It really is it's the realism of how you being an energy reader, or anyone really being an energy reader, can pick it up. And a lot of people, I feel, are blinded by that, right? It's like they still don't want to. It reminds me of like the Four of Cups. They don't want to really focus on really what the divine is trying to show them in regards to, hey, like, I know you're trying to have these three cups to make it look like this is really the picture, but really, like, I need you to look at
Yes,
this cup we're giving you because this is the truth. And a lot of people are
yes.
still in that state of denial.
That is
Yeah.
so powerful, Whitney, because I
Yeah.
are also, just to continue the same thing, not only eyes are speaking about who you are talking to, they can't just dress themselves however they want. They can have the credentials however they want. They can have
Right.
the authority however they want. But the interesting thing is they have eyes, but there is something even bigger than eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There is this energy. So when you shake their hands, you see the slip of their photo. Everything is just like, oh,
Yeah.
so many times it's just like,
But that's why I do feel a lot of women, we are definitely developing better in our boundaries and our power. And like, yeah, you might, you know what, you might have this, you might have that, but your spirit is not for me. And if you can't understand on a spiritual level who I am and what I am value of, just because of what you have in the physical, it's going to be oil and water. And
mm,
and I feel because
powerful.
we are taking
I love
our sacredness back, I do feel it's going to shake the divine masculines and setting them a little bit more free in regards to what really love is, which is the
Yes.
power of, the love we put into the world.
Surrender,
Yeah, the surrender, the everything.
humility.
Yes. And the
Mm.
vulnerability, like a lot of people have a hard time being vulnerable, not really realizing that vulnerability is so sacred and powerful.
Yes,
And you really do receive a lot. You open space. That's what you do. You open space to receive more when you really drop those
I
shields.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I remember how actually that vulnerability can be disgraced to complaints. So
Mm.
yeah, so there is a subtle border there, in fact. So
Yeah.
I remember I was part of the group, and that group was all about vulnerability. But the interesting thing is, it all descended to so-called complaints about how things are happening in their life. And then you sit
Yeah.
in that circle, and I feel actually amazing, and I feel bad because I don't have anything bad to share.
Right. You're like, yeah, and but that's okay. A lot of people think because they don't have something bad to share that something's wrong with them, and it's like that's okay that you don't have anything bad to share.
Yes,
But
yes.
that's why it's always great to just speak your truth, because a person, depending on their perception or their perspective, can still think there's still something that they resonate with in regards
Oh,
to
yeah.
your
I
journey,
love it. It started from
Yeah.
my mom, actually. I remember how, being a child, I never understood why when I share something great to my mom, she's never happy. But when I share something bad happening, she's, "You're so
Right. Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, I grew up as a military kid, so it was always order. So, I feel the more that I got older and my parents got older, they're a lot more expressive with showing, you know, emotions. But that's the same thing with programming, like
Yes,
so
yes.
many layers of generations were
So
born
many
into
illusions.
right. It's like continuing loops of programming that it takes time to really unfold the truth of what you're trying to figure out
Yes.
with your spirit. And a lot of people think they have to rush through it. And it's like, no, stop rushing. Like, it's okay. It's okay to be where you are.
Yeah, I'm from Siberia, it's Russia, so
I love that. Russian.
yeah, it's just like
Sexy.
it's the interesting thing is, and I know how people are living there. If what is
Mm,
shown in the news, how people are living, how many beautiful souls actually, how much programming. I've been traveling for more than 10 years.
right.
Every time when I landed in any country, and the taxi driver has to tell me, Yulia, just like we were talking, I'm very talkative.
Right.
Said, Yulia, in the end of our talk, don't believe what's in the news. It's not about us.
No, and that's the reason why, I don't watch the news. I don't. Like I'm a person that does not watch the news because it's fear mongering. That's where people get stuck, is because of what they are writing, making, to get people to be in fear, because they need that frequency to continue to thrive. A lot more
Yeah.
people are going to start coming off of the news and really trying to find the real news. And that's why
Yes.
I believe a lot of social media platforms are trying to remove, shadow ban a lot of people who are actually giving real news, is because they're trying to hide the truth from us, but we're going to find out
You're
either
gonna
way. We
find out.
are.
That's for
We already
sure.
know. So it's like, but that's what they thrive on. They thrive on fear. They thrive on the collective sphere for way too long. And now the light workers, the healers, the grid workers, the high priestesses, anybody who is of the light, you know what I mean? We had enough, and we're ready to, and we're fighting back for it. But
Oh,
we
I
have to
love
keep
it.
fighting. We
I
got
love
to
it.
keep fighting.
I love the very powerful song. It's I'm Unstoppable. It's actually, I don't need the batteries to move on, basically. That's what we are today. So,
Pretty much. I don't need the batteries.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
to
You're
play my
absolutely right.
game.
Exactly. I don't need the batteries. And the activations have been crazy. So, I feel like 2 weeks ago we got this huge boost of energy, and I've been nonstop since. Sometimes I'm like, man, this is a little too much. Can you guys let me slow down? And it's like, nope, we got to keep going.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I remember how my husband came to me, and it was 3 a.m. actually, and I was still like working, creating something here in my room
right,
with my cat, with my butterflies here, and I'm working outside of computer lots of time, and I'm
right.
just creating, and she's like, "What are you doing?" So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just working. I'm creating.
I'm just working. I'm in my zone. Let
I'm
me
in my
be.
zone, and just
Right, exactly.
and I'm with
I know.
lots of energy, with lots of energy.
Yeah, it's been activated. I'm like, woo, I can feel my body vibrating more. My heart, my hand chakras, feet chakras are going off. And I'm like, all right, well, keep using me. That's all I say. Keep
Yeah.
using me, like,
You
so I can
really
do what I
don't need
do.
batteries. That's what's
We do
happening.
not need batteries. We don't need batteries at all. But that's what they want society to think. You need batteries. It's like, no, we don't need batteries. But a lot of people
Duracell,
are
Duracell.
right. Exactly. It's
Like
like,
those bunnies.
I know, right? And it's like, no, I don't want to be a bunny anymore. It's like, let me be the animal I want to be. And a
I
lot of
love
people are
it.
realizing that.
Whitney, it is so damn amazing. You're just like we're a shining light,
Oh, thank
sparkled through the whole
you.
show. I
Oh,
love
thank
it.
you. I
So,
really enjoyed myself. I truly appreciate you. One, allowing God to allow you to see me. This is the first, I know I've been working with myself, stepping out of my comfort zone. And this is definitely something where, it was like you need to do this. Right. And so that's why I'm happy, God brought you to me so that I can really honor what I'm here to do. But like I said, I feel like we've already had this conversation, and we're just meeting up to, uh exchange great energy with one another so we can continue
deja
to
vu.
on our mission. Yeah.
So before we finish, I really love asking absolutely everyone who comes to me, to our beautiful show here, if you frame in one sentence the pearl of your wisdom, how would you just frame it for our audience today?
A sentence of wisdom. Okay, I have to think a little bit because it's like there's so much wisdom. To be completely honest, um the wisdom that I would give the collective is to speak your truth,
I love it.
to not allow whatever you are wanting to, whatever that is making you feel that you're needing to protect it or hide it, speak that, because the moment you speak that is the moment that you're going to be able to really authentically show the light of what you really are. That's what
And
I
you
would
don't
say.
need batteries. You don't
And
need
you don't need batteries. All you need is
batteries.
love. That's all you need. Correct.
Love is all we need. That's truly
Love is
is.
all we need. That's all we need. Love is all we need, because love comes in all forms, literally.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Whitney. It
You're
was
welcome.
amazing. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Please keep in touch. Bye.